And I'm going to come up here to where it says Sky and Fog and go to the tiny little cloud with the rainbow and click on that. Here we have the Skylab. This is the place where later on in the year you will be creating different kinds of suns, different kinds of moons, 2 suns, 2 moons, things like that, different types of cloud cover, different atmospheres, and you can control the sun. I'm going to take the sun and I'm going to move it so that it's higher in the sky, and all I did was just click and drag, and now we have a different kind of sky going on here. And just for the heck of it, I think I'm going to render it and see if this changes anything. It's certainly going to change the light on our mountain. You can tell that the shadows are much darker and deeper. The water is lighter in the back. Actually, the mountain looks pretty good on that kind of light. But we're still having a lot of transparency going on. Okay, back to Sky and Fog, back to the cloud. Now going to the right, to the tiny triangle on the right side, clicking that. Now, this is the Sky and Fog Lab. This is the palette, actually. It defaults to backdrops. These are just simple, flat backdrops. See your preview window? This is in case you're making a complex object like a spaceship or a vehicle of some sort and you want to put something just plain behind it. We're not doing that. We're creating an actual planet, an Earth-like planet that has a sky. So this is daytime. These are all daytime skies. Fantasy, sci-fi, these are much more extreme alien type skies. Nighttime, a lot of sunsets. Try not to have a real dark sky because it makes it difficult to print and see the image. Different rainbows, star fields, again, if you are creating a spaceship, and different sunrises and sunsets. For your first image, I would say go with daytime, because the thing is with your sky is that the light from the sun has to go through the sky, and if you have a green or a really weird color sky, you're going to get a really weird color to everything in your image. Okay, so let's try this and see how this looks. See, the clouds are different. There's kind of hazy in front of the mountain, so the mountain is losing some of its detail. The water is much lighter. So the mountain has a feeling of being further away. And actually with this particular sky, the transparency of the mountain under the water doesn't really bother me as much as it did before, because it's kind of hazy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the rendering and I'm going to go back to the little cloud, and I'm going to show you what a really bizarre, wacko sky is going to look like and how that's going to change the whole image. So I'm going to go to, I don't want something with the sun in the background. So if I see a sun in the picture, that's going to tell me that my mountain's going to be in shadow. And I don't want my mountain in shadow. This looks interesting. That's kind of half shadow, half not. This is going to change everything. Watch. It's a very cool sky, though. You gotta admit that. Notice the haziness is disappearing. There's like an ultra reality kind of happening with the mountain. We see a lot more detail. It's crisper. It's not as hazy or far away, but it's a lot greener too. And the water is looking really bizarre right now. And that's all because we changed the light coming through the sky. Let's see what the foreground water looks like. It's green. The foreground water is green. Check it out. Now, if that's the effect you're going for, you know, let it completely render. But I'm not going to go for that effect. I'm going to go back to where I was before and try to find that original sky, which was in daytime, and I think it was this one, Whisper Whale. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Now right now, if you look down here, we are in preview mode. We are not actually rendering the object. We are previewing the rendering. So this is just giving you an idea of what it's going to look like. So I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to click on the little ball to the left to turn it off. It's going to, when it's off, it's green. Okay, so you see when I put that cursor over top of it, it says fast preview mode. We don't want that. At this point, it's the way I like it, and I want to render it. So I'm going to click the green ball. The green ball is going to turn blue, and the rendering will begin. Notice how it completely pixelates. Pixelation is what happens when you start drawing an image. You're actually drawing it dot by dot or pixel by pixel. A pixel is actually a picture image, but it's one point of the picture image. It's a dot. So with each pass of the line, it becomes less and less pixelated. In the bottom left hand corner, we see essentially a clock. It's been 2 minutes 26 seconds so far, 1 minute 30 seconds. This is how long it's taking to draw the image. Notice it's still rendering. When it's done rendering, it goes through the process of anti-aliasing, and that takes a while depending upon how much information is actually in your image. If you have a very complex image with a lot of objects, and later on you will, it's going to take a long time to render, and you get to anti-aliasing, and that's where everything slows down. That's where the final drawing is done, and it'll say right over here in this area, anti-aliasing. That means you're getting rid of every single jagged line and smoothing it out. Okay, now you can see that it's anti-aliasing. That means it's almost done. It's doing the very finest, tiniest little rendering that it can possibly do, and it's 48% done. Now it's 49% done. So it's 50% done. It's half done with its rendering, or half done with its anti-aliasing actually. And it's progressing fairly quickly. Look at the jagged edges in here and how they tend to smooth out. Okay, you can see that my mountain is now fully rendered. All the anti-aliasing is done, and it is complete, because look right down here in the bottom left hand corner, it says untitled because we haven't saved this image or given it a title yet. And this 1760 by 1042, that's the size of the image. I'm going to take my cursor, go up to where it says File, Save As. Save As. We're going to save as because that gives us a way to come back to our image and keep editing and keep drawing. My world is what I'm saving it as. And then we look down here in the bottom left hand corner, and there's the title of my piece, My World. Then we go to Bryce and we go quit, and we are done, and we come back another day and continue working on our world. Hope you had fun, and get a little wacky with your world, but not too much. It has to look convincing, and enjoy. Bye.